At the hospital, Lee informs Penelope that she is shocked. Poppy maintains she understands and says, "I'm glad my daughter's dead." Lee takes Poppy into a separate room and calls her nasty, claiming Luna is her flesh and blood. Poppy is pleased to be free of her. Lee snaps that she is a lousy mother. How could her sister be so vile? Luna never had a chance, Lee says. Poppy informs Lee that she doesn't care about her or Luna, and advises her to stop pretending to. Lee recalls Luna as a morally upright and principled child. She knows he would have turned out differently if her mother hadn't been a pill-popping sex addict. Lee is embarrassed to share a last name with her sister. Poppy says she's not unkind and feels relieved. She details all of Luna's sins, including setting her up to die in prison. What if she harmed Kelly or Hayes? She's relieved she won't have to see her again. Lee resents that Luna could have been helped. She deserved far more than you. I pity that girl. She hisses. God rest Luna's wretched, tortured soul. SHEILA sends Deacon on a mission. Deacon offers SHEILA a drink and inquires about her mood. She is less groggy. Deacon describes the terrifying experience of receiving a medical call and fearing for his loved one's life. They make jokes about her losing another toe and then kiss. SHEILA and Deacon decide to put toe cookies back on the menu. She tries to get up and wants to see her granddaughter. Deacon stops her. He'll check on Luna later, but right now he simply wants to be with her. What's left of you? She hits him and they both laugh. Deacon is grateful they can laugh about her being down to 8 toes. It might have been much worse. He shoots Luna and wonders how she knew she'd be at the beach. SHEILA reveals that she came to tell her she was leaving, but she stated she would go out with a bang. She informs Deacon that she and Luna are relatives and very much alike. She believes she can help her. Deacon sighed. SHEILA urges him to simply go and see how she is. He agrees. Finn, Steffi, and Hope find in Liam's room that he is stable but has not recovered consciousness. The nurse exits and Steffi and Hope approach the bed to inform Liam that they are there, and that he has stopped Luna. They now need him to continue battling. They talk about him being an excellent father and friend. We can't lose you. Hope and Steffi go, and Deacon visits Liam's chamber. He asks Finn about Liam and then informs him that SHEILA is asking about Luna. Carter tells Hope and Steffi that he called Wyatt but he did not answer. He didn't want to tell him via voicemail. Taylor and Ridge arrive just then. Steffi comes over and gives them a tearful hug. She informs them that Liam's next 48 hours are essential. Ridge promises her that he will pull through. Steffi tells her parents that Liam saved her and SHEILA's lives. They reassure her that Liam is strong and will get through it. But Steffi says he hasn't been strong in a while. It looks she is ready to tell them about his brain tumor when Bill comes and asks, "Where is he?" Hope says he made it through surgery. Steffi responds, "No thanks to you." Bill asks what she's talking about. Steffi shouts that Luna attempted to kill her. Liam was shot while trying to save her. "You did it." Ridge responds, "Liam is paying the price." Taylor warns him that their daughter could have been killed. Steffi exclaims, "Get out of here." Bill cries, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not leaving my son. I can't." Finn breaks bad news in SHEILA's room. The nurse inquires about the other toe she lost previously. SHEILA jokes that her granddaughter should have shot her in the opposite foot to even things out. Deacon and Finn walk in and the nurse leaves. Finn asks SHEILA if she is in agony. She isn't, but she's concerned about Luna. "How is your daughter?" Finn does not answer and SHEILA says she understands how tough this is for him. But Luna is their flesh and blood, and they cannot give up on her. Finn claims his mother and Bridget worked on Luna. They did their best, but she did not make it. "Luna is gone," SHEILA sobs. "No, no." Deacon embraces her while she sobs. Everybody loves Liam. Hope walks inside Liam's room, and Carter assures her he will wait outside. Hope sits beside her ex-husband and tells him she knows he's exhausted, but she needs him to keep fighting. She reminds him that he told her he would not leaving anytime soon. "I am not ready. We cannot lose you. This can't be goodbye." In the hallway, Bill knows that everyone hates him right now, even himself. But he has to visit his son. Steffi hisses that he is the reason Liam is laying in a hospital bed. She continues, "Did you know Luna used a gun on Will?" Bill discovers she has been bothering him, wanting to be with him, and that he wore a wire to try to bust her. Bill yells, Why am I just learning about this? Steffi yells. Because you're part of the problem. He might as well have shot Liam himself. Rich cautions that if Liam dies, Bill will be haunted for the rest of his life. Bill laments that he has failed Liam since the day he came into his life. And he still loved me. Rich claims to be a good man. Bill complains that he was branded weak because of it, but he's more of a man than he'll ever be. I'm sorry, but I have to see my son. He must tell him he loves him and encourages him to fight. That might be the only decent thing he gave him. My son needs to live. Steffi shook her head and walked away. Steffi approaches Hope in Liam's room and inquires, "Any changes?" Hope shook her head. Steffi reassures her, "This is not how it ends. No, it cannot be. Liam will make it through. Kelly and Beth will not lose their father to Luna Nozawa." Hope nods and they clutch together. According to previews on The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope Logan and Liam Spencer may reunite following a life-saving surprise. Will Hope eventually realize she prefers her ex-husband over Carter Walton? Hope has been dreading losing Liam, so she's hoping for a miracle. Hope finds it difficult to imagine Liam dying as a result of an incurable brain tumor. Of course, the issue has worsened now that Liam has been shot. All of this Luna Nozawa mayhem will have a significant impact on Liam's loved ones, including Hope. Fortunately, a leaked screenplay for a future September episode still includes Liam on the cast roster, which bodes well for his survival. Liam will survive the shooting situation and in some ways, receive the miracle Hope has been praying for about his tumor. Grace Buckingham's recent strange behavior suggests that a story twist is on the way. Grace appears to be fooling Liam about his illness for murky reasons, which will be revealed soon. Regardless of how B&B explains it, all evidence lead to Liam concluding this storyline in good health. That may undoubtedly have a significant impact on Liam's future, particularly his romantic life. Liam pushed Hope back toward Carter, because he wanted her to have someone when he wasn't around. Will Liam's emotions change if he knows he is not dying after all? Hope's emotions could undoubtedly bring her back to Liam after nearly losing him, first via the tumor ruse and then through the shooting turmoil. It's easy to envision Hope believing she's been granted another chance at happiness with Liam, and deciding to take advantage of it. Hope may eventually come to realize she prefers her ex-husband to Carter, especially if Daphne Rose returns to stir the pot. Will Hope end her relationship with Carter to reunite with Liam? Will Liam and Hope prove to be the endgame couple to root for? According to The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Hope will be dealing with some complicated emotions in the coming months, so stay tuned for updates on any upcoming heart issues. Liam hadn't slept for days. The hospital room's continuous beeping provided little comfort, reminding him of how close he came to losing Hope. She lay in the bed, pallid but breathing steadily, her chest rising with each vital breath. The physicians had described it as a miracle. What had begun as a peaceful trip out of town had devolved into a nightmare. A runaway vehicle, a crushed car, and paramedics fighting tirelessly to revive her. If they had come even a few minutes later, Hope would have vanished. Liam hasn't left her side since. He canceled everything. Calls, meetings, and commitments. Nothing mattered except being present and waiting for her to open her eyes. He grabbed her hand and whispered apologies that she couldn't hear. Apologies for the growing gap between them, the icy silences, and the squandered opportunities. Somewhere along the process, the once unshakable love faded into the backdrop of co-parenting schedules and terrible misunderstandings. But sitting here with her in such frail condition, none of those arguments seemed to matter anymore. He simply wanted her back. Suddenly, in the middle of the night, her fingers moved. Liam's eyes sprung open. He leaned in, his voice breaking. "Hope?" Her eyes twitched and opened slowly, unfocused at first. But then they discovered him. "Liam." Her voice was hoarse, just above a whisper. His breath caught. "I am here. I'm right here," he said, kissing her hand and shedding tears. Relief entered his chest in waves, as if he'd been holding his breath for days and could now release. Hope attempted to sit up but winced in pain. "Take it easy," he urged quietly, reaching for the nurse's call button. "You are safe now. You're well." The nurse affirmed that she was out of danger, albeit still feeble. Liam never stopped watching her, as if he was scared she would disappear again. When she fell back asleep, he sat in the chair next her, reflecting on all the years they'd spent together, everything they'd overcome and everything that had happened between them. Thomas, Steffi, secrets, lies. And yet here they were, their paths crossing again in the most unexpected manner. Hope's recuperation progressed steadily over the next days. Although the experience had left her physically frail, her spirit remained unbroken. Liam was present for every moment, check-in and tour around the ward. They spoke quietly, sometimes reminiscing, sometimes simply sitting in comfortable stillness. Hope looked at him differently now, with a gentleness he had not seen in a long time. There was no stress in her voice when she inquired about the children, and no edge when they addressed the past. Just gratitude, and something else which Liam dared not call just yet. But it was there and expanding. Hope sat up in bed one morning, serious expression on her face. "I've been thinking a lot, Liam." He nodded. "About what?" "About us. Everything we have gone through. Everything I have put you through. I don't believe I ever stopped loving you." Liam's heart thudded. "Hope." She stared down at her hands. "I don't regret attempting to move on. I suppose I got lost. In Thomas, I believe in my ability to stand on my own. And then when everything came apart, I didn't want to admit how afraid I was." "You don't have to explain," Liam murmured gently. "We both made mistakes." Hope gazed up at him, her eyes watery. "But I nearly died, Liam. In that moment I didn't think about Thomas or anyone else. I thought of you. I thought about our children. I wanted more time with you." That statement cut through everything. Liam grabbed for her hand, feeling her warmth and pulse. "I haven't stopped loving you, Hope. Not for a second." There were no further words. Just the look between them. The silent promise. The sensation of something healing itself. Slowly, softly, and undeniably. When Hope was discharged from the hospital, Liam drove her home. Not for comfort or convenience, but because that's where she preferred to stay. The children were excited. Beth clung to her like a shadow, and even Douglas, who was a little older and less prone to outgoing displays, couldn't stop smiling. The family felt entire again, even if no one wanted to say it out loud just yet. Over time, Liam and Hope established a rhythm that felt like a return to something precious. Morning coffee in the kitchen. Late-night conversations in the living room. Laughs over spilled cereal and mismatched socks. It wasn't perfect, there were times of doubt, and old patterns threatened to resurface, but they were determined to do things differently this time. More open. Be more honest. Be more patient. Their pals had noticed the shift. Brooke was cautiously sympathetic, but advised Hope not to rush. "You've been through so much, sweetheart," she told me. "Make sure you're really healed. Physically and emotionally." Hope understood her mother's care, but she also knew her own heart better than she had before. There was no more misunderstanding. There's no triangle. There's no rivalry. Just clarification. Steffi also had her say. She and Liam had their own history, and things had gotten tense between them. But she had Finn now, and a new concept of peace. "If you and Hope can really make it work, I'm happy for you," Steffi said him. "Just don't let her down again." Liam promised, and he meant it. He couldn't change the past, but he could improve moving forward. Become more present. Be more attentive. More deserving of his second chance. One afternoon, as they watched the kids play in the backyard, Hope turned to him and remarked, "You know, I never believed in fate. Perhaps this was intended to happen. The accident and recuperation. It was like a wake-up call." Liam nodded, his gaze fixated on Beth as she twirled in circles. "Life doesn't always offer you what you want. It provides what you require." Hope rested her head on his shoulder, and for a long time, they simply watched the sun sink beyond the horizon, painting the sky with gold and lavender streaks. They did not hurry into labeling or statements. There was no major announcement or romantic proposal, at least not yet. However, their deeds spoke louder than any vow. Liam made dinner. Hope wrote small notes for him on the refrigerator. They danced once in the living room to a tune playing on the radio. It was everything beautifully and quietly real. They eventually talked about the future. About making things formal again, not because anyone expected it, but because it seemed natural. "Let's not plan it," Hope suggested one night. "Let's live it. Let it unfold," Liam said, smiling. "Whatever happens, I'll be here. Always." There would be difficulties ahead. The ghosts of past hurt did not go overnight. However, with each passing day, the ache dissipated and was replaced by something stronger. Resilience, hope, love, because it can take nearly losing everything to discover what you truly have. And when life provides you a second chance, you don't throw it away. Hope and Liam had found their way back together. Not through force or obligation, but through a mutual awareness that life was too fragile, too precious, to allow the past separate them. In each other's arms, they discovered something that neither time nor tragedy could take away. The future. A family. Love is worth fighting for.